what's really exciting is when you meet an officer that's involved in a confrontation where placement and positioning is awfully important. Now, Terry, you were involved in a situation. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened?
Well, we had to use all the tools on our belt that day.
Okay, were you injured at all?
No, I was probably the only one that didn't get hurt.
How many officers were there out there?
We had 6 on each side, plus me on the good guy's side.
Okay, 6 against 6.
Correct.
Okay, so let me ask you, what do you say? Everybody else was injured, you told me?
Correct.
Okay, and what do you think the reason for your success as to why you weren't injured?
Well, the accessibility of the positioning of the tools on my belt, which was the Hindi system, and of course using the tools the way they were made to be used.
Okay, so when I saw you probably 7 months ago, I showed you the duty belt system. And what did you first think about the system when I first showed it to you?
Well, I thought it was a lot of common sense, and I had incorporated some of that, but not all of it. I thought it was kind of, it wasn't that important.
Okay, well, now what do you think about...
It's really important. If I hadn't had my belt set up like that, I probably would have got hurt or not have been able to come to the aid of one of my other coworkers.
So you were able to save some of your coworkers, or perhaps save their lives, and you were standing with 2 or 3 other guys around you, accessing all your equipment with
Correct.
both hands.
Absolutely.
So what do you think about two-handed accessibility to all your life-saving equipment?
I think if anybody doesn't do it, they're in for a long night.
Why don't you tell me, how many pieces of equipment did you access during the course of the event, and the easiness of the transition of the equipment because of the setup?
I had to use my chemical mace, holster it, reholster it, my baton more than once, holster and reholster, and of course my weapon more than once. So almost everything that I had on my belt.
So it's all frontal placement in
Correct.
the specific locations I had mentioned?
Correct.
Now, previous to this, where did you used to have your baton?
I used to have my baton behind my radio, 3/4 to my back side on the left, and now I moved it in front of the radio for easy access.
At the 45?
Correct.
Okay, and how about your OC spray?
The OC I had behind the radio also, so I was only one-handed with the OC, but that's what saved me. I was able to access it with both hands on the day in question here. Unless you're locked in and you have to have your belt a certain way, if you don't think about at least think about some or all of the things that you've mentioned on the Hindi belt system, it could mean your life.